Good morning and welcome to THFC Till I Die, your home of Tottenham, past, present, and any what a confusing future. I was trying to be smart, say a clever word, but I won't get there. Anyway, joining me on this co-host, my usual co-host is Mr. Philip Brady, the Godfather. How are you this morning, Philip?
Yeah, it's getting a bit of a habit this on a Monday morning. Been a bit depressed after Spurs the day before, but I'm not as downhearted this week as I was last week. I think there are good points to raise about the game yesterday. A few bad ones, obviously, but let's just say we've had better Sundays.
Yeah, it was a sickener though, wasn't it? It was a sickener though.
Absolute sickener. It really was. To get so close to what I would regard as one of the great comebacks in the Premiership era, to be robbed of it by a mistake, a silly mistake, you know. And I believe Lucas Moore was absolutely distraught afterwards, and he should be. You know,
I don't give a shit if he wasn't or not. He shouldn't have done it in the first place.
Oh, I know that. I know that. I'm only saying he did take it very badly, though. You know?
Yeah, well, he shouldn't have done it in the first place. I don't give a shit if he's distraught or not. He should issue an apology as well. To the players, to the managers.
There's a lot of apologies you get for yesterday, doing, and not all of them from Spurs end of it.
No, that's true. And the hang on, Philip. Can you just go through the chat there for a minute? I've just got a missed call. Sorry, I'll be back in a minute.
Let's see who we got. I'll just go back up here. Okay, we've got Wembley 1. Good afternoon or good evening or whatever it is. Yeah, 1 o'clock here. It's saying, afternoon, everyone. All the more after yesterday. Remember the new mantra and the colours to wear purple and gold until the club is sold. We can't but hope. Wayne Bonner, how are you, Wayne? Afternoon, all. Hope everyone's well and recovering from yesterday. It'll take a while, but sure we'll get there. And how are you, Mia? Mia's saying, Wayne Bonner, have I said you're allowed off the naughty step yet? I don't know what's going on there, Wayne, but you look like you're in the bad books for something. And Carl Simpson saying, sorry about that. I just knocked Carl's thing off. Afternoon all, and everyone in chat. How are you, Carl? And how are you, Ellie? Naughty step is overrated, me. I would just get my cane out and whip their asses. Right, yeah. Okay. Didn't know we were talking about corporal punishment here, but anyway.
Yeah, we are. Well, big up to Peter M. Big up to Joe as well. He says, morning, guys. And we've got big up to Derek Hutchison, Lucky LKIVERPOOL. Sunday. Best Monday ever. Yeah. Now, just a quick talk about the background, like to Carl Simpson's YouTube picture there, Philip, and of course us behind. Now, do you want to explain to people what the purple and gold or purple and yellow is all about?
Well, all the purple and yellow is Wexford colour, where Dermot's from, and that's why he's amalgamated the Wexford colours into the background, which will be there until the club is sold, I believe. Is that correct, Dermot? That's the thinking.
Yeah, well, no, these colours were brought up, and it's just by luck that they turned out to be the Wexford colours. So you're now all honorary Wexford supporters, which Wexford is a bit like Tottenham. We played well for years, and a bit like Mayo as well. Played well for years, we never win a damn thing. So Carl Simpson up the Wexford, big up, Carl. The best strawberries in Ireland. As I say to Dave Harris, it's the #1 county in Ireland, but he sort of disagrees with me. But I think
I wouldn't agree with you either. Oh,
there you go. See, you're jealous of Wexford strawberries. That's what it is. You're all jealous of strawberries. That's it. And another thing as well about Wexford, we were the only other county to rise in the Easter Rising as well. Dublin, Wexford, and Cork were the only 3 counties that rose in the Easter Rising. There you go.
Okay. Right.
There you go.
Now.
Yeah.
107 years ago, but
yeah, still quite proud of that, And it's Scotty rose up against some country which we shall not be named.
Yeah, right. Okay, let's keep it to the football now. Keep going.
Big up Terry
non-political channel, huh?
No, Big up disabled team as well. The disabled team, I have emailed you back about a show at the end of the season as well. So I have sent that to you as well. I've got an idea for a show for a view thing. Wayne says he's colorblind.
So who Wexford hurt?
Yeah. Pete Rem says, I guess it's a coincidence that the purple and gold is till we sold also reflects breakfast colours. Yeah, it is a very much a condensed that word, but yeah, it is. But I find it quite funny. And then the same between hi everyone in the chat. Now we've got a super chat here, Philip, as well from Adrian Char. Big up Adrian, big up lads. Changing my profile to purple and gold. Yeah.
I know what you're at, Dermot. You're trying to surreptitiously raise Wexford's profile over the world. It's a twin-pronged attack. It's Spurs to be sold and Wexford and selling Wexford as well. Okay, yeah, the Wexford Tourist Board paying you for this. They are.
Yeah, I've had Michal Martin on the phone to me this morning.
Oh no.
Mind you, I think Cork do a pretty good job at that themselves, but to be honest, they think it should be their own country anyway, and that's a completely different show altogether.
Oh, well, now, did you ever hear the man with the Cork man with an inferiority complex? Yeah. He thought there was somebody else as good as he was. So that's no.
Wayne Bonner's put, if Wexford isn't anywhere near Tipperary, then forget it. No way am I explaining that one to my mum.
It's not too far. It's not a million miles from it. No?
Yeah, it's not too far. So yeah, we're like the Monaco of Ireland down the sunny southeast. That's what we are. We are the sunny southeast here, right?
Without the Grand Prix.
Oh yeah, exactly. Have it round Gory every year. Yeah, right. Anyway, let's talk about football now. We are going to do a podcast. Will be out tonight or tomorrow, where we are going to talk about the VAR decisions. I've got all the pictures, all the VAR, how the game. So we are going to go in depth in that in our podcast. So, but today we're going to start with this, Philip. Please explain to me all that is holy. Why is that not sending off?
Well, Mr. Paul Tierney is the only man that can answer that. Also, the trained monkey on the VAR desk, why that was not a red card. I mean, let's face it. If Harry Kane had done that to a Liverpool player, that happened before a firing squad this morning. Yeah. There would be Sky would be doing progress specials on it. There's hardly a mention of this because it's Liverpool. Poor old Liverpool. Everybody's out to get them. The referees are out to get them. Jurgen Klopp had to go to the referee last night, even though the referee did them so many favors yesterday, it was not even funny. So, I mean, I just don't know. I mean, how that wasn't a red card is just, no. I'm hoping that the FA will issue some sort of a statement like they did to Brighton and Wolves in recent weeks, where they say we admit we made a mistake. But all they're likely to do, in my opinion, is they'll probably charge Ryan Mason for the comments that he made after the match, where he was perfectly reasonable asking an explanation of why that was not a red card.
Right. Now, this is the what happened in the 81st minute. This is now what we will bring up later, and I've got all the pictures and all the on PDFs for you. But this is quickly. So what happened in the 81st minute? The ball bounced up just outside the centre circle as Oliver Skip went to a head. It was caught on the side of the head of the studs by Jota, who was attempted to kick the ball away. A raised foot. The challenge drew blood. Referee produced the yellow card for Jota, but should it have been a red? VAR decision, no red card. The VAR review is Jota is fortunate. There should have probably been a red card, but that doesn't necessarily mean an incorrect decision for the VAR. David Coate not to intervene, such as nature of VAR. Now, Philip, there's been other things that we'll bring them up later just very quickly. There was a Haaland call Anderson against Crystal Palace on the same tackle. No red card. We had again calls Main Anderson. Case no red card, and of course you had the Callum Chambers kicks Luke Shaw in the head when trying to overhead kick. Now,
Philip, all red cards.
Yeah. Now,
is somebody's head immune from getting red cards? It's only when they go up on the ankle that a red card is given. That would appear to be the way they're thinking.
Yeah. But can you explain to me something? Who's that person behind? Do you see that referee there? What the hell is he looking at?
I just don't know. I just don't know. Like, I mean, you've got a situation yesterday where everybody in the studio, for once, they were all unanimous in their decision. That should have been a red card, right? Even Dermot Gallagher on Sky this morning has said that should have been a red card. Peter Walton should have been a red card. All the ex-refs that have seen this have said straight red, no problems, you know. But there's only one reason why that was not given, and it's the name of the club of the perpetrator, Liverpool.
Yeah.
It seems the referees are scared to give decisions at Anfield against Liverpool.
Yeah. I just want to break up a few people. Big up to Chem62 says, afternoon, everyone. The first 15 minutes cost us the game. Not one mistake at the end that cost us a point. Yeah, that's true. We've got Corey Boy says, purple and gold until we're sold. Enoch out, Levy out, Lewis out. Well, look, I've got my own view in this, and I will be mentioning all about that in the show later on. And also we've got Carl Simpson. It's bang out of order that Skip thought it was okay to get in Jota's leg line. That's hurt. That, you know, it's ridiculous, really.
Oliver Skip should be given a red card for getting his face in the way of your man's boot.
And Curry Boy says, favours Liver VAR, as always. It was one of our own lads. He would have been sent off. Exactly.
Absolutely.
The ref was a Liverpool supporter, says Derek Hutchinson. Yeah. It's obvious that Skip ran into his boot. It was his fault. Jota was only going for the ball.
No. Jota should have gone for that ball with his head.
Yeah.
He didn't.
No, he should have done. So, Philip, look, where does this leave VAR? Seriously, where does it leave VAR?
In the dustbin. In the dustbin. It's been on life support all season. This is the final. Pull the plug out and it die. It cannot be taken seriously ever again after a decision like that yesterday. Plus other ones that you mentioned earlier have gone before that should have been also. It's down to two things. It's one, referees not doing their job right. Like that, there should have been no need for VAR to involve yesterday at all.
No.
Paul Tierney should have seen that. He's standing 5 yards away from it. He had to see that and issue a red card straight away. I don't know where the yellow came out of. It's absolutely ruining VAR, which I've always said VAR is a good system if it's performed, if it's used right. But the problem we've got is either these guys aren't trained enough, either they've got their own prejudices that they allow those to interfere with their decisions. So if you had decent, well-trained referees operating VAR instead of the trained monkeys that they've been using for the last few seasons, then it would be a good system. But at the moment, the decisions that have been made are absolutely ruining it, and it's to me it's dead in the water and should be scrapped altogether. Not that it will be, but it should be.
Yeah. We've got a super chat here from Mia. Big up, please, everyone. If you can get them in, it does help the channel. Thank you so much indeed. It really does appreciate. And do you want to read this one out, Philip?
Yeah, it says Skipper. Skipper's 5'8", and his foot was at 5 foot. Ridiculous. I mean, you can see from that. It wasn't as if he put his head down. It was more or less maybe 6 or 7 inches less than his height. And Jota's foot is nearly up. Jota is nearly 6 foot. If you look at the top of his foot there, it's almost at head level. So it's almost 6 foot he's at. He's above Skip's head for part of the thing. So, no. But the irony is, if that had been dealt with like it should be, we would not have lost the game.
No. Can I just say something? What gets me is still the referee's position, where the referee's looking at it. He's either blind, stupid, or tick.
Now, unless you can't see his face, unless Jurgen Klopp is roaring something at him and he was distracted. Because Jurgen Klopp and this guy have history.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me. Neil Shafton, big up Neil, great to see you in the chat. Said if a player strikes the ball near another player and the player's leg is higher than the knee level, then the referee should issue a yellow card. If an opposition player during the kick in motion, a yellow. I get what you're saying.
When you make contact with his head and mean the guy has to go off for stitches, that's more than a yellow. That's more than a yellow.
Wayne's asking, can a red card be given after the event? I think it can.
I don't know. I need to check that out. I really don't think. I think once there's a yellow card, if you hadn't booked him at all, I think it's possible. But the fact that he was cautioned for the attack, which is what it was. Let's face it was an attack. I don't think they can upgrade us. I don't think so.
Don't worry. If you're looking for Ellie, she will be on our podcast later. with me and Philip as we discuss VAR, and our podcast is going to be about VAR. So it's the VAR podcast that's out tomorrow. But don't worry, me and Ellie will be back on, and then Ellie will be back on the shows during the week, and then we're sort of going to start a new thing of only 2 people at a time on streams, and then special stream the 3 of us. So that is going forward. So don't worry, she will be back later. Phil Paul Brown, big up Paul Brown. It says precisely Philip. RE VAR, enough is enough. I think people are agreeing with you, Philip, that it has to go.
Oh yeah, I mean it was a nice experiment that lasted, but it's been completely misused. I mean it's like the technology is there to get it right every time, but how often have those mistakes been made now?
Yeah, how many times it's cost us this season? So we will get them more of that later on the podcast about the VAR. So we will go on more to that. Now, what I want to get on to next, Philip, is a bit of news, and then I'll get into the match and the comments made after the match and that. But during the game yesterday, there was a comment by Martin Tyler accused of racist comments against Song, where Sky Sports spokesman told the Mirror Football Martin Tyler has been reminded of need for care for his walking. No offense was attended. Now, he's supposed to have said Kung Fu kick when Son was during the match. What's your view on that? Should he be suspended, or what should Sky do?
If Martin Tyler had come out and started making monkey noises or throwing bananas at Heung-min Son, yes. To make a comment about martial arts as a suspendable offence, absolutely ridiculous. That was meant as a joke and should be taken as a joke, in my opinion. I've no problems with martial arts being used or kung fu, not at all.
Has social content on what's right to say and what's not right to say, Philip, has it gone too far?
Politically correct, you mean? Absolutely, absolutely ridiculous.
Have we now gone too far to the other way, where there should be, where 10 years ago that would have been okay to say, but now it's not? Have we gone too far over the other side of?
It's a sad state of affairs when they're making a bigger issue over a slip of the tongue by Martin Tyler than they are over the assault on Oliver Skip by Jota.
I know. Yeah,
that's how bad it's got. I mean, they seem to be camouflaging Jota's attack by moving on, trying to distract it by using something else. Gary Neville said something to me. It was more. It might sound like a joke, but he started saying maybe the Spurs team should set up a standing order to refund the fans. To me, that was more offensive than the kung fu thing. Even though it's not offensive, it's a joke. But I think political correctness has gone too far. People looking for things to make an issue out of when there's no issue there at all.
Yeah. We've got David Clark here. Hi from Leicester. I tell you one thing, you and David Clark on the stream would be good fun. I'll pay tickets though.
Yeah. I'm not always as opinionated as, but I have strong opinions on some of this stuff.
Is that whiskey you're drinking for the
No, I don't drink at all. So no.
I would love to get you a bit tipsy and hear you come out with some comments from the stream, Philip. That'd be great.
That's one thing is never going to happen. I can assure you, never.
Right. Hi from Leicester. I'm down after yesterday, but my wife and 2 sons are going to watch Leicester play Everton today. I tell you, if Everton lose tonight, they're down. For me, tonight's an important game for both clubs. If they don't get a result, then our household will be in deep depression. Well, don't worry, David. We will keep you up. Wayne Bonner says the world's gone soft with all this political correct crap.
Absolutely.
Peter M says for a start, Kung Fu is a Chinese martial art. The Koreans do what's that? Sorry,
Taekwondo and Hapkido.
What I object to is the ignorance about Korean culture. He does make a very good point here, Phil.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. That's why I think it wasn't offensive. If he'd been more specific on the country of origin of those sports, then yes, maybe. No. It was an off the cuff remark. That's all.
Yeah. Harmless comment, in my opinion. Society has gone too PC, in my opinion, to correct them. Health and safety has gone mad too, says the Disabled team, and I agree with them. Health and safety has gone mad. I remember working in the buildings years ago, right? There was no such thing as a hard hat or high vis. And then suddenly, overnight, we were doing the job. This is true story. We were doing the job, and once we'd done all the drainage and all the drainage for our houses, an inspector had to come up and inspect what we did. Some person came out, and my dad always called it a manhole. That's what it's called. It's been called like that for generations. The person out there said you can't call it that anymore. You have to call it a person's hole. Now, which sounds more rude. Seriously.
Oh God!
Now, what sounds more rude?
A manhole or a person's hole.
Yeah.
Well, that leads me to believe if we appoint Julius Nagelsmann as our manager, we'll have to call him Nagels person.
Yeah, that's true. And we have to buy. Apparently, Dave's on to me about buying tight jeans. You all have to wear tight jeans. Right, okay. A bit of an update on that. So I'm actually going to bring in the breaking news segment of our. Where is it? Here we go. Right, I can give you an update on that. It's not really an update, but it's no thing. They're still trying to get to terms to agree. So whoever they're talking to, they're trying to get to agree terms with them. Alt was trying to keep the backup options happy if their main choice fails to agree, Philip.
That's the managerial hunt.
Yeah, it's a managerial hunt. So what do you think what's happening there, Philip? Do you think we could be close to announcing on day 38 or day 39 of a search for a new manager? You look really happy about that. You just look, you stand how we feel.
Well, I mean, I think, I think we could do with the bounce of a new manager being announced, okay? Now, I did read that if Vincent Kompany takes the job, he's going to bring 7 of his own staff in with him, which means the likes of Ryan Mason is going to be no place for him at the club, which I'm sad to see, because I mean, I like Ryan Mason. I think he's done a reasonably good job. Nagelsmann, we don't know. He may keep Mason on as an advisor. But, I mean, they are right not to put all their eggs in one basket. They're right to keep the backup. But how do you balance it? If one person gets wind that someone else has been offered the job and they're sloppy seconds, it's kind of tricky. And I do know that isn't Joe Lewis has a big liking for Postecoglou, as far as I can gather, which is interesting. Dermot's gone again. So that is, like, to me, the three front runners are Nagelsmann, Kompany, and another. Maybe it's Postecoglou. I don't know, but he probably won't want to leave Celtic until the end of the season, obviously, because whoever's coming is going to come in July or June or whenever the team come back after training. But anyway, let me see what other comments we've got here. Oops. Yeah, sorry about this, lads. I just want to. No, right. I think something going on in the back. There's a subplot in the background here when people start talking about Canes, and it's not Harry Kane either. Derek Hutchison, lucky Liverpool. Well, that's it. I mean, it's if ever a club has benefited from VAR, it's Liverpool. Yesterday being a prime example on 2 or 3 different occasions, and. Lucas Moura, look, Moura has come on twice. This is from Peter M. Has come on twice, and the result was a red card in yesterday's disastrous pass. He's on a suicide trip as a player. Yeah, I mean, it was very, very unfortunate. If he looked up, he would have seen Jota. He just didn't look. It was a blind pass, and the red card against Everton cost us in the last minute as well. So, like, he's going at the end of the season. But let's just never forget, Lucas Moura is still the reason for one of the great Spurs nights of recent years. And they can never take that away from him. But he will be very, very upset and very hurt that he cost us a point yesterday. A point which would have been one of the great recoveries in Premier League history yesterday. But it's all been forgotten about now because of that pass, And the next comment is the machine is working quite slowly here today. Terry Hutchinson, we are getting Mason, like it or not. I don't think so. No, I don't. I honestly don't think Ryan Mason will be given the job. Robbie Keane says he wants Brendan Rodgers. David, I don't think you're too happy with that. I really think you'd rather have, how would I put it? I think you'd rather have Mikel Arteta appointed as manager rather than Brendan Rodgers. And I think I share your view that I don't want Brendan Rodgers anywhere near the place, you know. And Peter M says, oh, yes, I don't take Ajax away from him. That's why I'm so sad about it even today. Yeah, I mean, it's a pity. I mean, the guy, he's going to leave Tottenham with two legacies. One, the one that got us into the Champions League final, and one that cost us 4 points in 2 games in Liverpool this season, you know. And Wayne Bonner again is, I want the Tiswas crew to come in as managers. Oh, dear, yeah. Right. I think there's a few TV programs I could think of that might want. I don't know if any ever remember that program with David Williams and Matt Lucas, Little Britain. There's a few characters in there now which could come in as managers. Now, Corey Boy 85. I do not want Brendan Rodgers anywhere near Spurs. I think there's a lot of people would agree with you there, and do not want Brendan Rodgers anywhere near Spurs. You can come and watch a match if you want, as long as he pays for his ticket. And Lynn Simpson is saying, I'm a neutral. However, I think you were robbed yesterday. Jota should not have been on the pitch to get the winner. I know he didn't start well, however, he did get back into it. He did. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, I know all the talk on the channel, all the channels for the last 2 or 3 weeks has been how crap the Spurs defense is. How we've started the last 3 games by letting how many goals? 3 in the first 9 minutes at Newcastle, 1 against United, and 2 against Liverpool. So that's 6 goals in the first 10 minutes in the last 3 matches. But that has been completely overshadowed. The real reason we got back into the game yesterday, we showed some tremendous fight to come back from 3-0 down. We were the better team for large parts of that game. We created the chances. We hit the woodwork, I think, 3 times. We should have had a penalty. We had the player that eventually beat us shouldn't have been on the pitch. So everything was going against us yesterday, and we still kept fighting. So if we'd have come away with a draw yesterday, it would have been classed as one of the great Tottenham results of recent years. But fate has decreed that it's not going to be. And we're absolutely gutted by what actually happened there. So, you know, but let's move on with Crystal Palace at the weekend. Let's go and score 3 goals in the first 10 minutes against them and see how they react. Neil Shafton is saying, yes, Lucas was partially to blame for yesterday's result, but Kane and Son had sitters and they should have scored. That's true. Porto also mused, Pedro, I presume that, also missed a sitter or 2. It was a failure to capitalise on the Scousers' gaff. I mean, we could have been 5-3 up at half-time in that game. You know, it's just one of those mad games that really comes along every so often, you know. And Mia saying, let's be honest, Philip, did anyone really predict us to win? No. Didn't expect us to win. Like, we've won once in Anfield in the last 15 years. You know, that's how bad we play up there. It's a real bogey ground for us. And Neil Shafton saying, it's true, Godfather, but again, we played one half again. That's it. I mean, it's unbelievable the amount of times this season Tottenham have come out and played 45 minutes in the second half. We did it against United during the week. We did it again I can't even remember the games we've done it again this season. We've done it so many times. Did it against Liverpool. It's as if the first half is a kind of mental block to the players. When they go out there, they kind of know they're going to go behind, and it's so hard to understand why it is. And as I keep saying, the manager needs to get the halftime team talk before they go out at the start of the match now, because it's just we can't keep going on like this, you know. And Dan Davenport saying, I thought we were sloppy defending. Well, we were. But I'm going to look at the more positive side. I'm looking at the comeback end of it. We know how bad the defense is. We really do. And it's up to the management and the board to sort that out during the summer. And Terry Wright saying, Romero has been awful. He's lost his head. He needs a good benching. Yeah, it's worrying. He's really, really flying into tackles. He's no reason to make it all. And he's costing us. He cost the penalty yesterday. And, you know, he needs someone to sit him down and cool him down and stop feeding him red meat, because I love the aggression of the guy, but it's got to be channeled into the right areas. He just seems to lose the head when he shouldn't. And Ken62 is saying, focus on the positive, better team, but only for 45 minutes a game. There you are. I know. That's it. That's very true. And Neil Shafton saying, Peter Evans, an invisible force field that prevents the ball from crossing the goal line. Oh God, yeah, absolutely. And Phil TCOYS is saying, Phil Army, big up Mia. There you go, Phil. And Ellie, I think, is going to come on to help here in a minute, so that's good. Dermot's PC has crashed, apparently, so that's why he's gone off the scene at the moment. Peter Empson, Neil Shafton, so that's the origin of Spurs in its dark forces at work. I hope you're having a good weekend. Yeah. Mia, now come on, now behave yourself, Mia. Behave yourself. Romero needs a nice massage from me. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a comment to make there with keeping it clean, but it's difficult. I think I'll just pass on that one, you know. As you probably know, Mia has a thing for Romero, you know. Corey Boy 85, we need a Vidic-like defender next to Romero. Yeah, we need someone with a calm head. Vardiol or what you call them, all these centre-backs that we've been looking at during the summer. The first thing that whoever the new manager needs to do is replace Eric Dyer at centre-back. Once we do that, I think we might go somewhere. Dermot saying, I'm sorry about the PC crash. Ellie's on the way in. Here she comes now. Anyway, making a late, it's fashionably late, but delighted to have her in. Here's the Queen Ellie Hoiberg joining the stream.
Hiya, Philip. How you doing?
Hiya, Ellie. How you doing? Thanks for coming on there. I was going to. My script was running out there, so I'm delighted that
I agree with you.
What's that?
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with you. That would have been the comeback of the century for Spurs, but it wasn't to be. It's almost like we've got a curse at Anfield, doesn't it? It's like we've got a curse over us.
We went from 1912 to 1985 not winning a match in Anfield. The Titanic was still sailing when we last won an Anfield up to that stage.
I know, Philip. So, it's just such a tragedy. The manner and the way it happened as well, that Jota got their winner, the guy who shouldn't have been on the pitch. It's like a dagger to your heart. Two daggers to your heart. Oh, it's so depressing.
The thing that annoyed me most about that was Jurgen Klopp, who I regard as a complete idiot, comes along after the game and starts complaining about the referee, saying he's got an agenda against us. The bloody referee handed Liverpool the game on the plate. Yeah. What's his problem? Even when they're the victim, even when they win, they're still the victim. And Jurgen Klopp and Mikel Arteta are the two worst offenders of harassing the fourth official on the touchline, moving out of their technical zone and getting away with it. They get away with murder. But as I've said earlier in the programme, no referee goes to Anfield and gives a decision against Liverpool because they are scared to.
Yeah, they do. They're chickens. They should have been doing the pigeon dance with Richie, shouldn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Did you see? He did his hamstring.
I did. I saw it.
Celebrating.
Well, it's a pity he didn't do more than that, you know. Oh, he's an absolute idiot. You know, he really is. I mean, he should be. He's been fined already for comments made about a match. What he needs now is a touchline ban for the rest of the season. That's what he needs to get.
Yeah,
but knowing that, £5,000, which he had that in his back pocket. You know, it's
that's like small change to him.
What change?
Yeah.
You know, finding these managing clubs is a joke. It really is. You know.
I know.
But anyway, we just got a few more comments here, Ellie, before we carry on there.
Okay.
You see that? Peter M is saying, we do need a really tough central defense. We do. We've got to have, like, Romero is not the finished article yet. He's rough around the edges. No. He needs a good, reliable central centre back beside him, so they can work on a good partnership. Eric Dyer is not that player.
Yeah.
And Wayne Bonner saying, Mia, after that tackle by Romero yesterday, I say he needs a good spanking, not a massage. Jeez, don't get us started on that. We don't want to get taken off the air here, so we just better keep that one quiet. Neil Shafton again. Mia's special gift for Don Juan Perón. Don't cry for Mia, Argentina. Yes, that's very subtle, very subtle. And
look at the chat.
Chem62, agree, Ellie, we are cursed. Klopp was in the ear of the fourth official all the game, kept going into Mason's technical out. That's it, he does that and gets away with it. Yeah, if that happens at the Tottenham HOTSPUR Stadium and we do it,
it's just ridiculous.
You know, it seems there's two sets of rules.
Yeah.
One for Liverpool and one for the rest of us. And I know that might sound crazy, but it's happened too often. There's definitely an agenda there. And Wayne Bonner, I'd bring Laporte in next to Romero. Yeah, Laporte will be a good buy, actually. He would be a very good buy.
Yeah, he would.
What do you reckon? Would you fancy Laporte?
He's solid and experienced.
Yeah, that's it. And that's why, we'll go back to just briefly talking the managerial situation here. Briefly talking about the managerial situation. It's okay bringing in a player like Nagelsmann, who's 35. He's not much older than most of the players, right? I know Vincent Kompany is also reasonably, I'd say he's about 40, maybe less than 40. Vincent Kompany has got the experience of winning titles in the Manchester City dressing room. And I think that could be absolutely massive. Look what he did to Burnley. He turned a team of long ball hoofers into a team that played the best football in the championship and won the title by a mile. So,
I
do hope they're looking very strongly at Vincent Kompany, although I'll accept whoever comes, as long as it's not Brendan Rodgers. But hopefully Kompany is being said quietly. Hopefully Kompany is going to be in the frame for the game, or for the gig.
Yeah.
And the disabled team, so that would be a fantastic partnership. It would.
Yeah.
And Laporte is available in the summer, apparently, yes. We seem to have got a Laporte fan club, even though he did score the winning goal against us in the Carabao Cup there a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah, we'll forgive him for that one if he comes.
We'll forgive him for that. And Peter Wren is saying it's the same at Old Trafford. The bigger the home club, the more it plays on the ref's mind. Home team bias is a well-known psychological issue in refereeing, and a reputation for success compounds that. Peter, you summed it up completely there. Absolutely. Yep. Liverpool and Old Trafford seem to be the two main beneficiaries of the dodgy VAR decisions or contentious refereeing decisions.
Yeah.
So, and David Clark, I think the company is ready to tell the Burnley board that he's staying at the club.
Has he now?
Well, yeah, maybe he has. But then again, if he gets it, I don't know what he's earning at Burnley, but I'm sure Tottenham would top it considerably. So we'll wait and see what happens there.
I think they'll easily double that, Philip.
Well, I mean, we paid, how much were we paying Conte? 15 million a year.
15 million, yeah. And he got a 2 million bonus for getting us into the Champions League, I heard.
Yes, quite possible. Possible. And here's one from Neil Shefton again. Put a shot collar on Romero. Every time he looks like he's going to take a stupid penalty, hit a button that will be said to the staff and ask him to hit a few thousand volts. It works for dogs. Yeah, I know. We used to have a dog now. We had a collar on that when he barked at night. And it would stop him barking, So it's not a bad idea. Mightn't be strictly legal. Neil, but, we'll try it.
Yeah. They should put him in a cold shower before he goes on the pitch.
And Mia, are you listening?
With him.
He wouldn't come on the pitch. We'd be missing for the whole game. Oh, dear. Anyway, let's keep it clean anyway. And this is weird. And Chem62, we have played with more passion and fight under Mason and than continues to leading. I don't think he's ready for the job all the time, but not enough experience. Yeah, that's the thing. I think Ryan Mason will become a very good coach, but not just for the moment. And here's probably the most obvious comment of the whole day coming in from Mia.
Yeah.
I help him in the shower. Yeah, absolutely.
Are you back, Dermot?
Right. Well, I tell you how I am back. I'm back on my other monitor because my main monitor won't work. So I've now got my other monitor. I'm now on that. So I've had to put...
Right.
Look, this is how I would look without it on, right? I would look completely...
Oh, yeah.
I have to look at that monitor while trying to look at that monitor corner of my eye. I'll try it. I'll go with it. So, look, what are you guys talking about? Sorry about this, because
we've been
to drop off.
General stuff.
No.
Stuff.
Oh God, I've gone again.
No, you're still there.
Am I?
No, he's still there.
I can't see myself.
Well, that might be a bad thing.
Yeah, I can't see me.
That's all right. I can see you.
Yeah, go on, carry on what you were talking about. Sorry.
Yeah, no, we're sort of jumping around there between VAR and Jurgen Klopp and Vincent Kompany and Christian Romero in the shower. So that was kind of the most of it. Anyway, I think you. You still there, Ellie? Yeah, no, you're still there.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah. Romero's aggression is part of what makes him good. He needs to channel it better. Hopefully, experience will see to that. Yeah, that's what I was saying. He just needs to be. You need a calm head alongside him, and that'll keep him quiet. You know, keep him doing what he should do right, rather than giving away silly penalties like yesterday.
There we go. Right, I'm better now. Right, that's better. Where is my main monitor? As whatever it is, it keeps kicking me out. So I might have to switch monitors.
But you leave it on with no picture there. We can hear you. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Look. For me, Romero just needs somebody next to him to guide him.
Yeah.
If anybody, I think he just needs somebody next to him. Look. Yeah. I do agree. Yesterday would have been. Yeah. Yesterday would have been the comeback of all. Was the comeback of all comebacks. To be honest. But. We'll have to talk about the elephant in the room. Mora, what the hell were you doing, you dope?
We talked about him, Dermot, earlier when you were off there. I mean, Lucas Moura should not have done what he did. And, you know, it was a bad mistake. Right? It was a bad mistake. Yeah. But he didn't do it on purpose. That's all I'll say. He just made an error. He's not a defender. Why? You can blame Mason for not bringing on one of the young lads, Mundell, to put him at left back or right back. Because he had more defensive mind than Moura has. You know, you're putting an attacker in a defensive role. You can't expect him to know the game. You know.
Yeah.
So it's just unfortunate that he's tarnished his reputation by doing what he did. You know?
Look. I'm going to be honest here. Moura for me has not been a success at Tottenham, bar one night in Ajax.
What about the hat trick he scored against? He scored hat tricks as well.
Yeah, he scored the hat trick at home.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. For me, he's been living off one night for far too long. He's not a legend.
No, I never said he was.
I'm saying other people call him a legend. He is not a legend.
He's not a legend. No, he's not a legend. No, not saying that. He's been a squad player for the last 2.5 years, basically.
Yeah.
You know, Lucas Moura's star dipped the night Pochettino picked the Champions League team and left him out. The final. Yeah. He's never been the same since that. And I can understand it. Why? There he was coming up, scores a hat-trick in the semi-final, and Pochettino decides to play a half-fit Harry Kane in the final. But that's on Pochettino. But that has ruined Lucas Moura's confidence, and he's never been the same player since, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Anyone agree? No?
Yeah, I agree with you. He's had his moments, hasn't he? He scored a double up at Old Trafford, if you remember, when we beat them 3-0. He's had a few moments here, but not enough. And
not consistently enough.
He's a decent player. You can't say he's not a decent player. He's just not hit the heights. He hasn't really got it in him to be a world superstar, has he? He's just like one of those players that comes into the team and he does a decent job, but he's nothing like, he's not a wow apart from that night in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Where he wowed us all.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was one of the great nights of Tottenham recent history.
Yeah.
Tottenham history, full stop, basically. But he's going at the end of the season and he'll always be remembered for that night in Amsterdam. But he will also be remembered for the likes of yesterday, where he made silly mistakes and never really reached his potential, you know. And that's it. And Wayne Bonner is saying here, if Levy and the board won't come up with a plan, then we may as well. Yeah, well, I know. But like, as you know, you heard that David Harris was talking to Harry Redknapp in Dublin on Friday night there.
Yes.
And a very interesting, Harry Redknapp's opinion of the whole thing is that Daniel Levy is not the problem, not the main problem. The main problem is Joe Lewis. Joe Lewis is the one who will not expend the money as should be spent on players. And which is quite a bit of a curveball, really, because we all took it as Daniel Levy was making the decisions. But it appears it's not. That's if you can believe what Harry Redknapp's saying.
Well, when you think about it, Philip, he owns 3/4 of the club.
Yeah.
So really, he's the one holding the purse strings at the end of the day. But if he's leaving the final decision Levy. If Harry Redknapp's got an inside track on that, it doesn't seem like he wouldn't lie about it. Put it that way.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem like Levy's all to blame. But I'll just put the blame on both of them.
Yeah. Well,
if you're gonna invest in the club, you put the money down, spend the money when the player's available. Don't undercut or save a few million here and there and don't get the player over the line.
Yeah. Well, what I can't understand is this, right? Joe Lewis is a billionaire, right? He's 86 years of age. The last time I checked, you can't take it with you. So why is he not? Wouldn't his legacy be of his final months in charge of Tottenham is open up the purse strings, let the players come in that we need to get in to make this club what we want it to be, a trophy-winning side. But he just falls short of that all the time, and that's what's so frustrating. And I mean, Daniel Levy's also to blame, maybe more so because he's the man, he's the guy on the ground. He should be passing the comments on to Joe Lewis. But it's like this thing about Joe Lewis handing control over to his trustees and his daughter and whatever. That doesn't seem to have had any effect on things, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
unfortunately, rich men like Lewis, his trophies are his artworks, as we've read many times. He's got so much artwork he's invested in rather than the football team. So what hope have we got in him loosening the purse strings?
We've got a couple of Picassos hanging in the dressing room.
Yeah, can I have my comments on this about the Lewis and
go on.
Yeah.
Look, I work on the assumption that the owner is the man that the buck should stop with. I think I'm not defending Levy in any shape or form, but I think Levy takes the rap because Joe Lewis isn't there.
Yeah.
And Joe Lewis, Levy will go to Joe Lewis, right? We need so much money. Now, if he says no, what is Daniel Levy supposed to do? I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
What is he supposed to do if a manager says to him, I want, say, 200 million? He goes to Joe Lewis, right, Joe, we need 200 million to make us really successful. He says no. What is Daniel Levy supposed to do?
Yeah,
where's he supposed to go? So I want to put it out there. I'll put it let me know in the comments. What is Levy? I know, Ellie, you don't agree with me with what I said.
No, I don't disagree with you, Dermot. I just feel that maybe he should go and fight for it,
Yeah, but
just
what happens if he
no
is?
for an answer.
Yeah, but what happens if he is, Ellie, and he can't get the money?
But he's got the money, hasn't he?
Yeah, but
Lewis has got the money in abundance.
I'm asking what. Yeah, that's not what I'm asking, Ellie. I'm asking what does Levy do if he gets told no? Yeah, but he can fight for all. No, that's not an answer, Ellie. The question I'm trying to get to, Ellie, is, and Philip and the chat. If Lewis fights and fights and fights, and he keeps getting back his no, where does Levy go and get the money? Where does he? Why should all the blame be put on Levy? Surely the blame should be put on Joe Lewis 100% for not giving Levy the money, and then the blame put on Levy, as you say, Eddie, for fighting. But why he should get the blame for firing managers? We've had 14 managers in 22 years. But shouldn't Joe Lewis get most of the blame here as well as Levy? Why is it just one person? Joe Lewis is the man with the money. Joe Lewis is the man that's not giving out the money. Surely maybe he should get most of the blame as well. What do you guys think? It's just me thinking out there.
Joe Lewis is dangling his feet in the swimming pool in the Bahamas. Daniel Levy is sitting on the halfway line at every Spurs game. So Daniel Levy is the focal attention. He's going to get the blame. A lot of Spurs fans probably don't realise the ownership structure at Tottenham. They see Daniel Levy as the face of the club, and he's the one that gets the blame, rightly or wrongly. Okay, he's to blame for a lot of things. But as you rightly say, Dermot, if Joe Lewis refuses to open up the bank account to buy new players, what can Daniel Levy do? All he can do is ask. If your man says no, he can't go ahead and do it on his own bat. So that's the position we're in. That's why this situation with Joe Lewis and his his daughter taking over, maybe it could be a light at the end of the tunnel for us, or there could be a train coming the other way at us. We just don't know yet. We just do not know.
Ellie, what's your thoughts on all of this before we get to the
I was just saying, like, maybe he could go with a different strategy to Lewis and put it in a different way. Maybe he gives up. I don't know, because we're never going to know, are we? Because we don't know what conversations go on. So it's all conjecture at the end of the day, because we haven't got an inside track. But the words of Harry Redknapp to David and to Ollie, they can ring true, because, like you said, Dermot, Levy is the face of the club. He's going to get all the blame. And really, Lewis is the one with all the purse strings. He's holding them. And if he don't let them go, you know, I blame both of them, but Lewis is probably the biggest culprit, because he's the one with the biggest say in the club. He's the one who holds the purse strings, really.
Yeah. So that goes to my second question: is we all want change for Tottenham, like hence we've got the background, and hence we've changed our logo to the purple, to the Wexford colours, up the mighty Wexford. So I'm going to say that every time I say it, we'll see that. But that sort of brings me back to my argument, which we will go into on our podcast. But why is everyone shouting at Levy? Why not shouting Joe Lewis out?
Well, because he's the face of the club. He's the vocal, the visual face of the club, and that's why, you know, that's why he's there. And look, Ellie, you, me, and Dermot have been to more Tottenham matches than Joe Lewis has in the last 5 years.
Yeah, and the last year probably as well.
So that's it. I mean, you've got an absent chairman or an absent major shareholder. He's sitting back. He's sitting pretty over in the Bahamas. He didn't give it. You know, he's not getting the flack that Daniel Levy is getting. And you know, but the problem that they're so closely associated. Daniel Levy is getting the flack for maybe the bullets that Joe Lewis is firing. And one way to change the whole thing, change up ownership, and then we'll not be having this conversation.
Exactly. Look, I agree with you, Phil. It is Levy's fault for the manager selection and the recruitment side of it. I agree with you, but I think Joe Lewis should be getting much of the blame, if not
absolutely,
more.
You're right. Absolutely
if
right.
Not more,
he should.
If not more, then Levy for not releasing the money. People seem to forget this. Everyone, you see the protesters as Levy's this. Levy's the face of it. And yes, I agree, Levy should go. Enid should go. I agree. There should be a change of ownership.
We need a complete refit. Refit.
But I look at it at a different point of view, where Joe Lewis should get much of the blame as Daniel Levy does. They're linked together, but you can't blame one without blaming the other. That's where I come across. We've got a couple of super chats here, guys. So I'll get you to read out one, Ellie, and you to read out one, Philip. So, Ellie, I'll let you read out this first
Ladies first.
Yeah, Adrian Cheer says, also then cash out on Kane and Son and reinvest proper.
Philip, do you want to answer that? Big up Adrian Child for the super chat as well. Thank you very much.
I wouldn't like to. Yeah, thanks, Adrian. I wouldn't like to lose both the players at the one time. Really, I think that'd be a major blow to lose both of them. Yeah. I'm kind of half resigned to losing one of them, whichever one it is. I don't know, but no, we need to keep one of them to keep a bit of continuity going. You know?
Yeah. And this other one, big up at Anies and sent another one. Thank you so much, Adrian. You've been so grateful today and so generous today. I know times are hard, so thank you so much indeed, Adrian Jar.
Thanks, Adrian.
For all your support today. Levy should then stop wasting dollars by firing managers. And I agree with that. 14 managers, guys, in 22 years.
Yeah.
14 managers. And then 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Two of their managers, longest range managers, was Harry Redknapp and Pochettino. Ramos, who won us the League Cup, didn't even last the season with us. So, guys, where are you on the firing manager? Do you think I will go into more of this on the podcast later, but quick question to you, Philip, and then go to you, Ellie. Philip, do you think we've become unstable because Levy's never allowed managers to, apart from Pochettino and Redknapp, we've never given managers a chance to, it's always been 2 to 3 years and they're gone.
Yeah, it's hard to know what the reason for that is. I mean, okay, we're not as bad as Watford, who change their manager every month. But there's something rotten in the state of Tottenham. We cannot seem to keep a manager. Look at Steve Perryman. He had 3 managers in 19 years at the club.
Yeah.
We've had nearly 19 managers in 3 years. No, not quite that bad. But you know what I mean? It's the continuity is just not there. And you need to have someone that comes in with a vision. Maybe the manager that we hire on day one just cannot work with the guys, cannot work under the regime that that's imposed on them by Lewis and Levy. That would appear to be the case. It's not all their fault that they get sacked. They're probably working under impossible conditions.
And also, Ellie, if a manager can't work under the streams of Lewis and Levy, does that mean that Lewis and their business plan is totally up the creek without a paddle?
Yeah, I think they just don't match. The actual style of play as well comes into it, right? Because when the fans saw
that's not what I'm asking, Ellie. I'm asking more.
Well, I'm getting to
the point is.
Though, I'm just
but
a few caveats.
I know, but I just will stick to the point. But the point is, do Levy and Lewis's business plan? Is it too complicated for football that their business plan isn't right for that? Football managers cannot work like the come to recruiting players, the come of setting up a director of football. Is their business plan too difficult to work? Is it too complicated for football?
Yeah, I would say but they make a lot of mistakes in the backroom recruitment of people as well, and they hold on to them a bit too long. Like with Hitchin, they held on to him too long when he was making drastic errors in the transfer market. Like you're not a big fan of his, so it doesn't match. And the only other caveat I'll put into it is, look, a manager comes in, he's got a set style of play. He wants to play that style, right? And if it doesn't meet with the fans, the chairman and the owner get umpty, and then they sack him because they just want to appease the fans. But if they let the manager work his magic, like if you look at all the successful managers, right? Klopp said he'll take 4 years to get Liverpool to win the championship, and he delivered, and he also delivered the Champions League. Bill Nicholson, great Bill Nicholson, right? He came in, it took him 3 years to get our double side to where they were. Yeah. So you need to give the manager a little bit more time. But the average Premiership sacking is 2.26 years. So that's really dreadful. It's an indictment on what the game is about now. And I think money takes the precedence, because there's a lot of money to be won when you finish top 4. And that can smolder over everything else of the business plan.
Yeah.
You see? It can get in the way.
Yeah. Philip, I wasn't trying to be rude, Ellie. I was just trying to get to specific point of the question.
The caveats, because they're very important as well. It's not just the business plan; it's other things that affect it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was trying to get at.
I didn't take it as rude, Dermot.
Sorry.
Yeah, you were a cool man.
Philip, where do you see Joe? If Joe Lewis's daughter takes over, and she's not a big fan of Levy, and she sacks Levy. She brings in another man that starts spending the money, that start buying players, to start backing managers. Do you think the fan base stance on Levy and on ENIC might change if a new chairman and they start spending money, bringing in players, start challenging for trophies? Do you think it might change, or do you think it's too much water's now gone under the bridge that you have to go, a change is better than nothing?
She won't sack Levy. Joe Lewis is, they're probably related some way or other. She's not going to sack Levy. No, it's not a hope. The only way
she doesn't like Levy, apparently.
Well, that's conjecture. How do we know that? See, a lot of this stuff, it's very easy to, paper never refused ink. I believe it when I see things happen. I'm not taken by a lot of these, she doesn't like Levy. If she didn't like Levy, she'd been pushing her dad to get him sacked long ago. So that hasn't happened. The only way Spurs are going to improve is by a complete refit, a new owner, and a new vision of things. And one of the reasons we've had so many managers have come into Tottenham probably promised things, right? But they haven't been allowed to buy the type of player that's needed to fulfill those promises, right? How many times have we missed out on players because of a scrimping and saving $1 million here and $1 million there? Jack Grealish, Bruno Fernandes, there's loads of them, right? Skriniar. We didn't get them because we weren't willing to pay the money for them. Other teams go out, pay the asking price, and reap the benefit. We've been scrimping and saving, and it's kicked us in the ass so many times. So that's what I want gone now. I want new owners to come in. And well, it'll probably be. I would make a prediction that one of the unsuccessful bidders for Manchester United will now move on to Tottenham as the next option, and that would be very welcome to me that we do get new owners in. But the problem being is, if Tottenham is valued at $4 billion or whatever it is, Levy and Lewis will probably look for $5 billion.
Well, they are.
We're going to have to put the club on the market at a reasonable price, you know, and not a price that's going to scare off any investors. Because let's face it, much and all as we like Tottenham, we love Tottenham, we're not worth as much as Manchester United.
No.
We don't have as big a global footprint as Manchester United. So whatever Manchester United goes, that's the yardstick for what Tottenham are going to go for. So let's wait and see.
Yeah, we got another super chat here from Eddie in Chard. You've been so generous today, Adrian. You really have. Thank you so much. We all really do appreciate it. And he says, Brighton and Newcastle don't have Kane or Son, and they're okay. Yeah, very good point.
Yeah, but they're not scared. They've picked up some absolutely really good players at reasonably priced money.
Yeah.
Like Bruno Guimaraes, we could have bought him. And also the fullback, what do you call him? The guy, the centre back. Botman. Yeah, we could have got him. You know.
Well, listen, we are going to end it up there. Thank you all for joining. We are going to do. There will be a podcast out. We are going to record a podcast out later, and then we will get that out tomorrow. We are back with Newsbeat tomorrow at 1:00. I do apologise about my PC crashing and leaving Philip on his own. And thank you, Ellie, for popping in.
Yeah, thanks,
and
coming to the rescue. I'm now going to take it out to the front garden and beat it to death with a stick, and then put it back in and see if it works.
Are you going to do a Basil 40? Do a Basil 40 on it?
I am going to do a Basil 40 on it, and then if that doesn't work,
beat it with the brush.
And then if that doesn't work, the dustbin come on Thursday. I would stick it in that, and I'll go back to using my phone, which is more reliable. But on
you stick Gary Dyer in that dustbin as well.
Don't ruin. You've just ruined my day now, Ellie. You've just ruined it now.
Let's quit while we're ahead, folks. Come on.
Yeah, quit while we're ahead.
Don't want him anywhere near Wexford. That's why.
Yeah. Well, listen. Thank you.
Thanks for all the comments today. The comments have been great today.
Brilliant comments.
Hell. Corey says, "Hell have it. You've tried to turn it off." Yeah, I have. Yeah. Peter, thanks again to the three of you for an enjoyable debate. Look, we will look. We are going to do a podcast on tonight. Today it's going to be about VAR, and it's going to be about the owners. So expect a fiery debate on our late episode number 6 of our podcast, actually. And if you want to listen to them, you can find us on Spotify. And also you can find us on Amazon Music as well. Whoever thought we'd be on Spotify and Amazon Music, guys? Huh?
Yes, indeed.
You know, we are famous. But listen, I like DJ Sammy's laughing at my comment, taking it out Basil 40 style and bashing it. Yeah. Philip Badebro driving down videoing me. Look, me hitting it with a stick. Come here, you fucker. You're going to work. But listen,
kicking as well.
Thank you all. We've got some exciting. Philip, do you want to tell us what we've got coming up, or Ellie, what we've got coming up in the shows this week? We've got some exciting stuff coming up, haven't we?
Yeah, we've got obviously the Newsbeat every day to see what's happening. We've got what have we got now? My mind's gone blank here. What have
we've got a new podcast.
The podcast,
every week. We've got Ellie next season will be kicking in with the lady show. We're going to start that as fresh next season as well. We've got the Women's World Cup coming up, which we're going to cover the Ireland games and the England games.
Yeah.
We've got, of course, the last 4 watch-alongs. And next season, there's going to be a lot of technical changes on the channel. We're going to try to make it all better for you. Better thumbnails, better watch-alongs, more different scoreboard as well. And we all got them. So, and then the summer, of course, we've got Golden Games. We've got a look back in time when me, Ellie, and Philip, each of us would take a decade, and we're going to go through that decade with a game as well. So we've got a lot of exciting content coming up on the channel. Of course, then we've got Ellie's ladies shows as well. They're going to, as I said, start kicking in the start of next season. And of course, we're going to cover the Women's World Cup. So we will keep you rightly entertained during the close season of football. But let's get this season out of the way first for me. I'm already thinking of next season. And also there will be a daily transfer show as well during the transfer market as well. So lots coming up. Yeah,
just on the ladies front as well, Dermot and Philip, I do post things on my Twitter account, Queen Ellie Hoybear Spurs Ladies Show. So everybody who wants to catch up on the ladies, and I do post it on WhatsApp as well, you must have noticed. So yeah, I'll be more active because I've had a few problems this year with my hubby being ill and that, and myself. So yeah, and the World Cup, the Women's World Cup's coming up, so that'll be very exciting.
And you will get live watch-alongs on here. God knows what time we're going to do them, but
you know.
But anyway, thank you all for tuning in. David says, right on the cricket. Maybe we might do a cricket watch-along, Philip, one day.
Well, yeah, maybe on a T20, all right. The other stuff you could watch on the fall
Sorry, just another bit of breaking news. As from next week, the Grand Prix, we will be doing Grand Prix watch-alongs again. As from next weekend. It's from Miami, so the resumption of and around the grounds is back on Saturday as well. So please tune in for that. Because it's the final day of the Championship, League One, League Two. So we will be bringing you up to date. Who goes up, who goes down, who stays in the league. So we will be bringing you all the latest from the Championship. And also we're going to do watch-alongs for the Champions League and the FA Cup final as well. So we've got all that to come. Thank you all for watching. Philip, do you want to take us out?
Right, folks. Well, listen, we'll be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Watch out for the podcast, which will be on tonight or first thing in the morning. And should be a good one. There might be a few controversial views passed, I think. Yeah. And listen, thanks for tuning in, everybody. And we'll see you soon. And I know it's difficult, but come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Also, come on, you Spurs. And go over to Mia's channel, Spurs Between the Line. Give your head a wobble.